So we saw the other day that the torque or a moment of force is equal to the force multiplied by the perpendicular distance from force to axis of rotation. Okay, so I'll just go over that quickly and also try to connect it with the idea of vectors, which is that we had taken the example of a door hinge. I'm just going to draw it in a simpler way today. Okay, and we argued that when a force is applied to, say, open or close the door, then the torque that is applied as a result of this force, right, is the perpendicular distance, the shortest distance, therefore, between the line of application of the force, which is in this manner, times the distance. Okay, so this distance is the perpendicular distance. And if the direction of the force changes, so if I change the direction of the force, so it acts like this. I have increased the length of the force and I've kind of done it deliberately. If the force acts like that, then the line of action of the force is going to be like so, right? And then the shortest distance between this and that will be the perpendicular that is dropped from here, right? So that has to be 90 degrees. Then this will be the distance through which the force acts. Okay, so geometrically speaking, you can find out the torque created by any force if you know the angle at which this force is acting. So if you know this angle, say this angle over here, the angle between the direction of the force and the plane of the door, then you can work out what will be the length of this. You have to make a scale diagram on a graph sheet and you will get the length of that. But it is also possible to do this by using a little bit of trigonometry. I know you haven't dealt with trigonometry yet in your class 8, so you're not aware of it, but we have inadvertently, willy-nilly used the concepts of trigonometry whenever we have dealt with vector quantities and the resolving of vector quantities. Okay, so I'm going to try to show the same thing by using the parallelogram law of forces, parallelogram law of vectors. Okay, so is that clear? Is that clear? Beg your pardon. John is saying a bit. You've seen a bit. You've seen a bit of trigonometry. Was it as a result of being in the physics class, or was it a result of being in the math class? So, Acha Perumal Nana has spoken to you a little bit about trigonometry. He's done a few sessions. All right, very good. Yeah. Okay, got it. So it's a good way to marry these two things, the maths and the physics. Okay. So now to recall the parallelogram law. Okay. So what I want to ask is, when you apply a force like this, you are attempting to create this anti-clockwise torque, anti-clockwise movement. So you are attempting to turn the door that way. Okay, but you are applying the force at an angle to it. So it's not at 90 degrees to the plane of the door, you're applying a force for some reason. You can imagine if you're standing by the side of the door and you're talking to somebody and you're giving the door a push, then you can you are applying it at an angle. Yes, Pythagoras theorem is also possible, Tanisha, that's right. You can also use Pythagoras theorem to figure out the same thing. But we'll come to that. You have to also say exactly where and how you are going to use the Pythagoras theorem. So I'm going to take the trigonometry part of it now. Okay. So the question that can be asked is that how shall we resolve this force F in such a manner that we get two useful components for our analysis, at least one of which is doing the work that we want done. Okay, so shall I repeat that? So I want to figure out how to resolve this force into two components in such a way that there is at least one force that is going to help us do the work that we want done, which is to open the door, which is to swivel the door or the window, whatever this is. Okay, so how will you do that? Any suggestions? How to resolve this force? Just to repeat myself, we showed one way in which we can find out what exactly is the torque on this system if the force does not act at right angles to the plane of the door. But what if we are pushing it at an angle? How can we find out? So one solution is, Manya, you're terribly late. One solution is line of action of force, least distance from the hinge to the line of action of force. Okay, as a geometric argument it works, but you may ask why Manya came late. Thank goodness, otherwise she would have definitely asked this question. Not thank goodness, I mean. Why is the distance from the axis of rotation to an imaginary point there? That's an imaginary point. There's nothing there. There's no force there. There's no door there. Why are you showing that distance? Okay, so somebody may be very unhappy with that argument. It looks fine, but what does it even mean in terms of physics, right? So I'm saying, can we get a better understanding of this from our knowledge of vectors? We know we can resolve vectors. I'm asking you, can you resolve this force vector into two components, at least one of which helps us to do work in the direction that we wanted to do work? Nothing yet? Can't think of anything? Aryan has been very quiet. Okay, I mean, Ratul, you may be happy with that argument, but you know, somebody is saying, what is this distance from to? Okay, this side I can understand its axis of rotation. What the hell is there on that side? Pardon my language. Okay. So I'll just cut to the chase. So what I can do now is forget about all this. Okay, so we don't know anything about this distance. We don't know anything about what's going on. We are still investigating afresh. A fresh investigation, and we could have understood it in this manner also, just as same as by looking at the geometric argument. Okay, so what I can do is just to make it a little more convenient, I can transpose this force over here. Okay, I'm just going to shift this force over here. How do I do that? Well, I mean, you have done some transposing yourself. I'm not going to waste my time over that. I'm just going to do it like this. Okay, so as long as I did not change the magnitude and I did not change the line of action of the force, if I shift it to here, so this is going to be just parallel to that. Okay, I haven't changed anything, have I? Okay, so that's one axiomatic thing, right? It's an axiomatic thing. I'm telling you, I don't know if there exists. I mean, I'm sure there exists a proof to understand this, that if you move the force in such a manner that you don't change the magnitude or the direction, and you're still applying it on the same object, on the same body, then there should be no problem. But you have to take it axiomatically as a matter of faith at this point of time. If you're unhappy about that, I'm okay with that. Okay. But if you accept that, then I can tell you what is it that I want to do. I want to create an anti-clockwise movement, right? Matlab, I want the door to start accelerating in that direction. Of course, it will rotate, but I want it initially to accelerate in that direction. That's why I push the door handle. Okay. So then the direction that I'm interested in is this direction, right? And the other direction that I'm looking at is, of course, this direction. Do you see that? So I'm looking to resolve this force along these coordinates. Okay, so y and x. Is that fine? Do you understand this? Seth's asking if I can prove it. No, I personally can't prove it, but I'm sure if you see, it's rare that we actually pick up any subject in mathematics, even purely looking at mathematics, even from axiomatic principles, right? So from the first principles, it requires an extremely good teacher and a bunch of very keenly interested students to actually pick a subject, any topic in mathematics from the axiomatic reference points, where there are conjectures and axioms, and we move from the conjectures and axioms. So therefore some of these proofs are things that you don't see until you probably come to university level mathematics even. Okay. And no, I can't prove it, but I take it as axioms. That's the whole point of it. I take it as being true and then proceed from that. So if I take these two directions and I resolve it into the components that I want to, I'm running out of colors. Okay, so the two components that I will get is this one. Okay, so that is my force in the y direction. Okay, and this component, which will be my force in the x direction. I hope you are able to see that. Are you all able to see that? Any questions about what I have done so far? Okay. No. Pratyush, man, you're terribly late. You should try not to get so late. Please be on time. Anyway, so I'll be posting the video after we have had the class, probably by around lunchtime, to my YouTube channel. So whoever has missed any part, is not convinced about something, or want to have another look, please go ahead and do that. And you can also write back to me if there are ways in which I can tweak the video in such a manner that it becomes easier to see. A 20-minute video, a 25-minute video is not an easy thing for everybody to see. I know that. So let me know if there is some way in which I can tweak the information or talk about something in such a manner that you are able to use the videos effectively. I'd really like to know if people can use videos effectively to learn. Okay, it works very well for me. I watch some of Walter Lewin's lectures again and again and again, and I can see that it makes a difference to my understanding over time. I don't even know how it happens, but it's kind of like slowly it happens. Okay, so coming back to the question, so I resolve the force into two parts. Out of which, can you tell me now which part we are interested in terms of opening the door? Is it the Fy or the Fx? Which part is helping us to open the door? And then saying Fx. Fy. Manya saying both. So how to resolve that? Okay, so you either intuitively know that it is Fy because Fy is the one that will start moving the door in that direction. Okay. Once it starts rotating, of course, the nature of the force changes. But I'm talking about initial conditions. Okay, so if it's not clear, Fy, maybe it's clear. You say, but what is Fx doing over there? Okay, what happens to Fx is that, remember the original force was pushing in this direction, right? So the Fx force that is applied on the doorknob or the door will be countered by the door's support force. Okay, so this component will be countered by the support force of the door. So that I'll putting it as N, the reaction, normal reaction force. Okay, which means that it's going to do nothing to the door. I mean, if you're Hulk or something like that, you might end up breaking the doorknob. But if you aren't, then, and we aren't, so Fx will be countered by N. So there's going to be no acceleration in this direction. You see, along the x-axis, it's sigma f is equal to 0. So no acceleration along the along the x-axis. But at the y-axis, there is going to be acceleration, which means that it's the Fy that we are interested in. Okay, and what is the angle at which this thing is acting? Well, we said that this is the angle, theta, if you like it, right? At which the angle at which the force is acting with reference to the plane of the door. So therefore, it can be argued, and I want take you into it, that this Fy therefore can be written as F, the main force, multiplied by cos of theta. Okay, so because this is F, right, and you want to know what is this. So if this is theta, this is also theta. So if you look at this right angle triangle, this side can be written in terms of this length, in terms of F times cos theta. Yes, very funny. Set. Use a bazooka. Then you don't need to worry about anything. But we are not doing what is it? Explosions, inelastic collisions at the moment. So there's no question of talking about bazookas and explosions. We are done with all that, if you remember. Okay. So therefore, now what you can modify this equation into is you can write it as the distance, of course, remains the same. You see, that's the beauty in this, that the distance between this line of action of the force itself, that is, and the axis of rotation, that distance remains the same. So you don't need to tweak that. But what happens is that now you can write the torque as the force which is causing the rotation is F cos theta times d, which is usually written in the form F times d cos theta. And the cos theta, the theta is the angle at which the force is acting on the door. And as you can see, Fy is going to be less than F, definitely, right? So therefore, this and this will work out to be exactly the same. That can be proven. Uh, cos theta is because if you look at this triangle, right, I want to know what is Fy in terms of F. Okay, so therefore this angle over here, if this is theta and this are parallel sides, so you have what do you call that? Transverse angle, is it? When you have two parallel lines and then you have two alternate interior angles or something like that. Yeah, alternate interior angles. Yes. So this theta and this theta are the same. So therefore, I can write cos theta in this triangle as being the no, wait, is that the theta or is this the theta? Am I getting muddled up over here? Shouldn't this be sine theta then? I need Fy by F. Adjacent, right? Yeah, so adjacent will become this then, which will become a problem. So I should take this then. No, but then this becomes fx. Is it sine theta or cos theta? Okay, some little confusion over there. I think I got the angle of attack over here wrong. I think this should be theta over here, and then this will be theta. Then I will get adjacent by opposite. So I may have made a mistake there. Sorry. Okay, so I guess this angle over here is theta, so therefore this is theta. So then I get cos theta is equal to adjacent by hypotenuse Fy by F. Yeah, then it works out. So Fy will then become F cos theta. Then it works out, right? But I don't know how I made that mess. I'll look it up again. Okay, so therefore I argue that the F times D times cos theta and the F multiplied by the perpendicular distance from the line of action of force to angle of rotation, both would be exactly the same. Distance from line of action of force to AR. What happened? How come people are going in and out of the meeting? Some connection related issues? Yes, Akshay. F cos theta would mean work. That's what we had left off at the last time. That is, if it's force multiplied by distance, then this will be in newtons, this will be in meters. So therefore, you will get work done. So torque also means work done. That's another thing that needs to be looked into. Okay, so that takes care of both arguments, the geometry related argument and also the vector related argument to understand what is torque. Okay, and then we come to the next question. So basically, whatever we are doing now is kind of leading up to the idea of defining what is a center of mass or center of gravity. These two terms can be interchangeably used in our course. And how do we go about understanding that? So, set any specific issue. Last 2 minutes, I don't remember what I did in the last 2 minutes, but basically I kind of, you mean from the time I figured out that theta was in the wrong place? Oh, you couldn't hear us. Okay. Oh, drat. I erased the whole thing. Yeah, I had some problem with my internet connection. It showed me that your internet connection is slow. So maybe that's what happened. So actually, what I'm trying to say is that did you get the theta correction part? Okay, theta correction part was fine. So basically, the last thing that I said was in reply to a comment by Akshay, which you must have seen, that F times cos theta times D would be work. Akshay, you actually missed the distance over there, but which I had said the last time also, that force multiplied by distance would be work done. And then I said that the next thing that we have to do is to examine that question of what is balancing the stone when there is no object on the other side, which I had shown in my experimenta video. And to basically understand, to basically work our way to the understanding of center of mass concept from that. But for that, what I'll do now is, we are kind of running out of time on this one. There are 6 minutes, but it's okay. We'll start a fresh video. So I'm going to just stop here and I'm going to come back online. Okay, and then we will develop that idea. Okay, so I'm going to stop the video now.